In the early 20th century, Europe was a powder keg of political tensions, alliances, and military build-ups. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914, acted as the spark that ignited the region's volatile environment. Gavrilo Princip, a young Serbian nationalist, shot the Archduke and his wife Sophie in Sarajevo, setting off a chain reaction among the great powers of Europe. Austria-Hungary issued an ultimatum to Serbia, which was partly accepted, but the complex web of treaties drew all major nations into war. Germany declared war on Russia and France, honoring their alliance with Austria-Hungary, and mobilized their forces along the borders. Britain entered the war on August 4, 1914, after Germany violated Belgian neutrality with their Schlieffen Plan to quickly invade France. Traitors, heroism and despair weave through the trenches as soldiers from France, Britain, Germany and other nations faced the horrors of modern warfare. Fighting raged across the Western Front, with battles like the Battle of the Marne, where Allied forces thwarted the German advance into France. The war saw brutal trench warfare, U-boat campaigns and chemical weapons, transforming warfare forever. The Battle of Verdun in 1916 symbolized the carnage and stalemate that defined much of the conflict, with no side gaining a decisive victory. Meanwhile, the Eastern Front saw the Russian Empire battling Austria-Hungary and Germany, yet they struggled with internal unrest as well. In 1917, the United States entered the war, inspired by German unrestricted submarine warfare and the Zimmermann telegram that proposed an alliance with Mexico. American troops, known as the American Expeditionary Forces under General John J. Pershing, brought fresh energy to the battered Allies. Within a year, the tide turned with the 100 Days Offensive, forcing the Germans into retreat and leading to the war's end. The armistice of November 11, 1918, halted the fighting, but the aftermath was devastating and far-reaching. Millions of soldiers and civilians had perished. Entire communities mourned their lost loved ones in grief and horror. The Treaty of Versailles in 1919 officially ended the war, imposing harsh penalties on Germany and redrawing the map of Europe. Many nations faced upheaval. Monarchies fell in Russia, Germany, and Austria-Hungary, giving rise to new governments. The war's brutality and loss of life inspired disillusionment among the survivors and changed societal attitudes forever. A generation of men known as the Lost Generation was scarred physically and emotionally by the trenches, horrors. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers, fueling social change and challenging traditional gender roles. The war also spurred technological advancements, from tanks and airplanes to the first use of aircraft carriers and poison gas. Propaganda became a powerful tool, shaping public opinion and motivating men to enlist and fight for their nations. Cultural narratives of heroism, sacrifice, and nationalism circulated widely, both inspiring and tragic. Despite the devastation, the war also sowed the seeds for future conflicts and geopolitical tensions. The League of Nations was founded in an attempt to prevent another such war, though it ultimately failed to maintain peace. World War I significantly altered the political landscape, ending empires and paving the way for new ideologies and conflicts. Historians continue to study the war's causes, battles, and consequences, recognizing it as a pivotal moment in history. The trenches, with their mud, rats, and relentless shellfire, remain symbols of the war's brutality and human resilience. Soldiers kept diaries and wrote letters, vividly describing the horrors and their hopes for return to peace. Stories of bravery emerged even amidst the chaos, illustrating the courage and sacrifice of countless individuals. The war also inspired art, poetry, and literature that reflected its trauma and the longing for peace. From Wilfred Owen's poignant poetry to Eric Maria Remarque's novels, the human toll is vividly portrayed. The conflict's legacy reverberates today, reminding us of the cost of war and the importance of peace. Remembering the events and figures of World War I is crucial, as it shaped the modern world with lasting impact. It was a war driven by complex alliances, national ambitions, and human folly, leading to unimaginable suffering. Yet amidst the darkness, stories of heroism and hope continue to inspire reflection and remembrance. Understanding how it started, how long it lasted, and how it ended offers valuable lessons for current and future generations. The war's end in 1918 marked not only a cessation of fighting, but also the beginning of a difficult recovery for nations and individuals. The scars of the Great War remain etched in history, serving as a solemn reminder of the price of conflict. Through detailed stories and vivid descriptions, the history of World War I comes alive, preserving its memory for all time. By studying the past, we can strive to build a more peaceful future, avoiding the tragic mistakes of history